Welcome to the deep dive. If you ever feel just completely drained by trying to manage everyone else around you, your partner's mood, your kid's schoolwork, maybe your boss's weird emails, then yeah, this is for you.
Definitely, because today we're talking about flipping the script. It's not about controlling them.
Right. It's about reclaiming your own power, your own peace by mastering control over, yourself and letting go of that impossible task of controlling others.
Exactly. And the core idea we're exploring is something called the let them theory. But maybe think of it as let them plus let me.
Okay, explain that, let them.
So let them is about release. It's consciously deciding to stop pouring your energy into managing other people's actions or their opinions or, their emotional reactions.
It's like saying, okay, I'm tapping out of that game.
Precisely. You're deciding your energy is too valuable to spend trying to fix things outside of your direct control.
Okay, so our mission today is to really break down how this simple idea works in real life. We're talking stress, tricky friendships, even work stuff, and supporting people in crisis.
Yeah, and we've got insights from neuroscience, psychology, motivational science. It's not just theory, it's practical.
Let's jump right in. Starting with those everyday things that just seem to steal our peace. Why is it that small stuff, really small stuff, like traffic or a slow checkout line or someone talking loudly on their phone, why does that get under our skin so much?
It feels like a personal attack sometimes, doesn't it?
Totally. Like my whole day is now ruined because of that.
Well, neurologically speaking, your brain kind of treats it like a threat. When something stressful happens that you can't control, your amygdala, that's your brain's alarm system, it basically hijacks the show.
The fight, flight, or freeze thing.
Exactly. Your rational brain, the prefrontal cortex, gets shoved aside. So you're not thinking clearly anymore. You're reacting purely on instinct. You want to yell or honk or just shut down.
You're essentially trapped by the external event.
Right. And the escape route is recognizing that hijack moment.
Okay, like the example from the sources, you're on a plane and the person behind you just keeps coughing nonstop.
Ugh. Yes. You can't make them stop. You can't control their germs. And you feel that stress building up, right? You start imagining all sorts.
Yeah. And maybe you start glaring or sighing loudly.
But that anger, that frustration, it's wasted energy. It achieves nothing except making you feel worse.
So the let them part is just let them cough.
Internally, yes. You acknowledge, okay, they are coughing, I can't stop that, and then immediately pivot to the let me part.
Which is?
Let me do what I can control. That might mean putting on noise-canceling headphones. It might mean turning up your own air vent, maybe pulling your scarf over your nose and mouth.
Taking action to protect your own space, your own peace.
Exactly. It's about shifting focus from the uncontrollable trigger to your controllable response.
But what if, putting on the scarf makes me feel a bit hot or stuffy? It's still uncomfortable.
But that's the strategic choice, isn't it? You're choosing a minor, manageable discomfort, the warmth of the scarf over the major, draining discomfort of anxiety and simmering rage.
Which could last for hours.
Right. Protecting your internal energy is crucial. That energy is what you need for your goals, for your focus, for everything else that actually matters in your life. Letting go of the uncontrollable isn't passive, it's a power move. Okay, let's broaden the lens now. Adult relationships, friendships specifically, they can be, complicated.
Yeah, they often get harder as we get older, don't they? Why is that?
A big factor is what some call the great scattering. Life happens. Careers, marriage, kids, moving cities, maybe divorce. People naturally drift apart geographically and situationally.
That spontaneous closeness we had in school or college just evaporates.
It does. And it's replaced by these, let's call them the 3 pillars of adult friendship: proximity, timing, and energy.
Proximity still seems huge, though. There's that study, the American Time Use Survey. It found that between 21 and 60, most adults spend more time with coworkers than family and friends combined.
Wow, yeah. That really highlights the power of just being near people regularly.
So proximity matters, but then there's timing.
Right. Timing refers to life stages. You might work next to someone every day, but if you're dealing with young kids and they're planning retirement, that shared ground, that easy connection might be harder to find.
And when friendships shift, because of these factors, proximity changing, different life stages, we tend to take it really personally.
We do. We think, what did I do wrong? Or they don't like me anymore. But often, it's not personal. It's just the logistics of life shifting.
There was that really painful story in the sources about the couple who finally got their best friends to move nearby.
Oh, yeah. And then those friends immediately became super close with the neighbors who lived right across the street.
And the original friend, the one who was now 5 minutes away instead of across the street, felt completely replaced and just furious, jealous.
She admitted she reacted badly, let the jealousy take over. Her inability to let them be friends with the neighbors essentially poisoned the original friendship.
Even though the shift was almost inevitable because of that sheer proximity difference, a few feet versus a 5-minute drive.
Exactly. The mature response would have been to acknowledge the hurt, the feeling of exclusion, but then manage her own reaction, not lash out.
Which brings us neatly to emotional immaturity. You mentioned experts finding that a lot of adults, well, they operate emotionally like kids.
Yeah, like an 8-year-old sometimes. Think about common reactions. The silent treatment, pouting, maybe rage texting, passive-aggressive comments.
Been on the receiving end of some of those?
Haven't we all? These are signs of someone who hasn't learned to regulate their own emotions. They expect you to manage their feelings for them.
So what's the let them let me response there?
Crucially, let me remember it's not my job to fix their emotional state, and let them have their reaction.
Just let them, even if it's unpleasant.
Let them go silent. Let them have their outburst within reason, obviously safety first. Understand that strong emotions are often like quick storms. They rise, peak and fall away, sometimes in just 90 seconds.
Yeah.
If you don't fuel them with your reactions.
So you step back. You don't engage with a tantrum.
You create space. You protect your own peace by refusing to be drawn into managing their immaturity. #tag3, influencing change and setting boundaries in crisis.
Okay, stepping back makes sense there. But what about when you genuinely care about someone and you see them making choices that worry you? Like a friend whose partner really needs to improve their health, or a relative deep in debt.
The desire to fix someone else, that's a big one.
We jump in with advice, pressure, maybe warnings.
Yeah.
Because we think we know best.
And almost inevitably, what happens?
They resist, they push back.
Or just ignore you.
Exactly. Because fundamentally, people only change when they feel ready to change. And pressure, well, pressure triggers resistance. It's almost a reflex.
Why is that? Why does pressure backfire so consistently?
It's partly brain wiring. We're naturally drawn to pleasure and avoid pain or hard work. Change is usually hard work. Plus, research shows that warnings and focusing on negative consequences often just get tuned out.
Interesting. Like you just filter out the bad news? To some extent, yes. But more importantly, external pressure feels like a threat to our autonomy, our sense of control over our own lives, and we instinctively guard that sense of agency.
So nagging or lecturing is basically useless, maybe even counterproductive.
Pretty much. If you really want to support someone towards change, you need a different approach. Something like the ABC loop, which comes from motivational interviewing techniques.
Okay, ABC. What's A?
A is for apologize, then ask. You start by diffusing the situation. You actually apologize for any past pressure or judgment. Hey, I realize I've been pushy about this, and I'm sorry.
Wow, that takes the wind right out of their sails.
It does. Then you follow up with a genuinely curious, open-ended question, not, why aren't you doing X, but something like, how are you feeling about X right now? Or what are your thoughts on Y these days?
So you're turning the focus inward onto their feelings and thoughts.
Precisely. You're trying to spark internal reflection, maybe create a little tension between where they are and where they might want to be, but it's their tension, not yours.
Okay, then B.
B is back off, give them space, stop the advice, stop the check-ins, observe their behavior quietly. You've planted a seed, now let it germinate without constantly digging it up.
Let the internal motivation build on its own time.
Right. And then C is celebrate. Acknowledge and genuinely celebrate any small step they take in the right direction, positive reinforcement. And keep modeling the desired behavior yourself, if applicable.
The whole loop is about letting them own the process. Let them decide.
Exactly. But before you even start that ABC loop with someone else, there's homework for you.
Ah, okay. What's that?
It's using the 5 whys method on yourself to figure out why their behavior bothers you so much. Let's take that example. Your friend's husband isn't taking care of his health.
Okay, why 1? Why am I frustrated he won't change?
Maybe because I worry about his health.
Okay.
Why 2? Why do I worry so much?
Because if he gets really sick, my friend will be devastated.
Okay. Why 3? Why does her devastation impact me so intensely?
Because I'll feel obligated to step in and support her. Emotionally, maybe practically.
Why 4? Why does that obligation feel like such a burden?
Because,
Yeah.
honestly, Because I resent feeling like I have to drop everything in my life to manage someone else's crisis.
And what 5? Why does that resentment come up?
Because ultimately, I'm scared of losing control over my own time, my own energy, my own life.
Wow. See, suddenly it's not really about his health choices anymore. It's about your fear of being burdened or losing control.
Realizing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that changes everything. It lets you drop the judgment, drop the pressure. You can actually let them be because your frustration wasn't purely about them.
It reframes the whole dynamic.
Yeah.
Now, quick but vital point. If someone is in immediate danger, actively suicidal, driving under the influence, that kind of thing, you absolutely intervene. Call for help. This isn't about passivity and emergency.
Right. Important distinction.
But for ongoing struggles like addiction recovery, chronic depression, debt, we need to differentiate support from enabling.
Enabling meaning, like constantly bailing them out.
Yeah, giving money without conditions, fixing their problems, shielding them from any negative consequence of their actions. It feels kind, but it actually hinders their growth.
It stops them from learning the necessary lessons.
Exactly. As one expert put it, you have to let people learn from life. Don't shield them from the consequences of what they choose. Trust that they can handle it eventually. Hashtag Meridac Freebie. Choosing love and using comparison as a teacher.
Okay, let's talk romance. Applying let them here seems really powerful, especially when choosing a partner.
It is. Finding the right relationship is often less about saying yes more often and more about having the courage to say no to the wrong fits much sooner.
How did let them help with that?
It simplifies things. Focus on behavior, not words or potential. The saying goes, if they like you, you'll know. If they don't, you'll be confused.
Stop trying to decode mixed signals.
Stop making excuses for them. Stop investing in who they could be. Ask yourself honestly, can I accept this person, flaws and all, exactly as they are right now?
Not in 6 months. Not if they just change this one thing.
Right now. If the answer involves needing them to fundamentally change for you to be happy or committed, then you have to let them go. You're loving potential, not reality.
That applies to leaving relationships too, right?
Yeah.
Even big ones. Like the example of the person calling off a wedding.
Oh, yeah. That's huge. They knew it was the right decision for them, but they were paralyzed. Why?
Fear. Fear of the fallout. Their fiance's heartbreak, their parents' disappointment, the guests, the wasted money.
The sheer weight of everyone else's anticipated reactions, and this is key. Often the right decision feels incredibly wrong or terrifying, precisely because of that anticipated emotional wave from others.
So the let me part there is.
Let me make the decision that is right for me, even though it's hard. And let me prepare to feel the discomfort, the guilt, the fear, maybe others' anger or sadness without trying to control their reactions.
You ride the wave, you don't try to stop it.
You ride your own emotional wave. Their feelings are theirs to manage. Your job is to navigate your choice with integrity and self-compassion, not to prevent others from feeling what they feel.
Okay, final area. Comparison.
Yeah.
We all do it. Scrolling social media, looking at colleagues.
It can be absolute self-torture, can it? Especially when we compare things that are essentially fixed.
Like what?
Like someone's natural athletic talent, or their height, or their family connections, or maybe their seemingly effortless metabolism. Things you can't easily change.
If you can't change it.
You have to consciously let them have it, acknowledge it, maybe admire it, but then immediately redirect your focus to what you can influence. Comparing fixed traits is just draining.
But comparison can be useful.
Absolutely. Flip it. Use it as a teacher. Focus on changeable characteristics or achieved outcomes.
This jazz.
Someone's incredible work ethic, their successful business strategy, the way they network, the discipline they show, things that result from effort and choice.
So instead of just feeling jealous,
use it as data. Use it as fuel. Remember the story about the person who was initially jealous of an annoying neighbor's sudden online success?
yeah, Molly, she was really irritated by it.
But then she shifted. She realized that jealousy was just pointing towards something she wanted. So she started studying how the neighbor did it. What was the strategy? What steps did they take?
She turned the neighbor's success into a potential blueprint for herself.
Exactly. Someone else's success in an area you desire is proof that it's possible. It's evidence. So let them have their win and let me learn from their formula and apply that energy to my own efforts.
It's not a zero-sum game. Their win doesn't mean my loss.
Not at all. The only real competition is improving on who you were yesterday. Hashtag hack outro. So wrapping this all up, the let them theory really has these two powerful parts working together. Let them is about freeing yourself from that exhausting, impossible job of controlling everything and everyone outside of you.
It's laying down that burden.
Exactly. And then let me is about stepping into your own power. It dictates your empowered response, focusing your precious energy on your actions, your self-worth, your choices, and building the life you actually want.
It's not passive acceptance, it's active self-direction.
Precisely. Your time, your focus, your emotional well-being, these are your most valuable assets. Protect them fiercely.
So as you go about your week, maybe mull this over, what hard decision or boundary or maybe even personal goal are you holding back on? What are you avoiding deep down because you're afraid of someone else's opinion or their judgment or how they might react emotionally?
And what's one small step you can take, guided by that let me principle, to prioritize your own path and your own peace? Remember, you have the power to choose where your energy